Australians are experiencing rising cost of living pressures as inflation reaches a 22-year high. Holly Edwards-Smith spoke to residents in the Sydney seat of Parramatta, where people are feeling the biggest jump in everyday goods and services.
Like opposition leader Anthony Albanese, residents in the electorate of Parramatta are aware iceberg lettuce is among the items going up in price. Inflation is at its highest rate since 2000 at 5.1%, and people across this Western electorate are feeling it.
Groceries particularly have got more expensive.
Veggies and meat too. But everything is, milk's gone up again.
Despite the Coalition's fuel excise, the cost of filling up at the Bowser is still important for people in Dundas.
Petrol's probably the biggest one. I drive a diesel car and that's gone up ridiculously, like almost double since last year.
Everything's going up. Petrol's going up. Everything.
Do you think it's an issue you'll be looking to consider at the federal election?
Yes, I certainly will.
Parramatta is held by retiring Labor MP Julie Owens. Her replacement and former Kevin Rudd advisor Andrew Charlton was parachuted into this seat, handpicked by Anthony Albanese. He says despite owning a multi-million-dollar property outside the electorate, he can relate and represent the issues affecting this diverse seat.
Look, I've been an economist and a business owner my whole life, so I spent a lot of my life thinking about inflation and how we make sure the economy is stronger and how we ensure that people have the best opportunities and the greatest prosperity for all families. It's an issue that's really close to my heart.
Despite former ties to the Labor Party, independent candidate Steve Christo says a coalition government would be better at handling the cost of living pressures here in Parramatta.
Well, quite frankly, I don't think the Labor Party can combat that. Anthony Albanese and Labor head office couldn't even solve a branch stacking issue in Granville and Parramatta, New South Wales, and 3 years on, the whistleblowers are suspended. So how can they combat cost of living and the issues the Australian people face?
Something Liberal candidate Maria Kovacek was happy to hear.
I actually think that Steve is right.
On a margin of 3.5%, Parramatta is one to watch when the polls open in May. And like many marginal seats across the country, the cost of living is high on voters' minds. Holly Edwards-Smith for Sky News in Sydney.